Vishakhadat.
A well-known merchant named Vishakhadat lived in Kaushambi town near Alkapuri. He was as religious as he was wealthy. His business dealings were as sound as his worldly interactions. He was well reputed and respected by his family, community and society. He was a great inspiration for all. However, circumstance and time play their role as well. If the sun rises, it sets as well. Similarly, the merchant's fortune changed as well. There ensued a great loss in his business and merchant Vishakhadat became poor. He thought, it will be difficult for me to stay in Kaushambi. Because of my past reputation and fame, I will find it awkward to live as a laborer. Now it had become arduous to live in Kaushambi, and in order to provide for the family's livelihood, he decided to pack up and go to a foreign place. Vishakhadat had decided to go elsewhere, but where would he go? The town of Vijragar was famous for its diamond mines. Many aspiring people tried their luck to dig for diamonds. Vishakhadat knew this, so he decided to go there. As soon as he arrived in Vijragar, he started the hard work of digging for diamonds. After a whole day's work, he barely earned enough to feed himself. However, he did not give up. He had confidence in determination and hard work only. One day he became acquainted with a hermit named Divakar, who was famous in Vijragar for his knowledge and discovery of diamonds. Divakar, also known amongst the people as Yogi, gradually became good friends with Vishakhadat. Impressed by Vishakhadat's humility, modesty, and piety, Divakar began showing a distinct compassion for him. One day, he said in a sympathetic tone to Vishakhadat, "I can't bear to see you work so hard digging for diamonds, we should find a solution." Vishakhadat said, "Yogiraj, no one can achieve anything without hard work and good fortune. So what is the point of getting upset and feeling unhappy? I must work hard until my fate changes. If there is another solution, then kindly show me. I am ready." Divakar replied, "Yes, I have another option where you won't have to do such laborious work. I am impressed by your humility and piety. I wish to use my supernatural power for the benefit of a virtuous person like you. My Guru has bestowed me with a special Dharnikalp knowledge which makes it possible for me to know what is hidden beneath the earth and where to find it." Vishakhadat was listening intently, so Divakar continued to talk about his supernatural powers. About 6 miles from here there is a temple of goddess Durga Chandika. There is a holy treasure of 5 crore gold coins buried beneath the courtyard of this temple. I wish to acquire this treasure for you by worshipping the goddess with puja and aarti and pleasing her. Vishakhadat's eyes sparkled upon hearing this. His chit became absorbed in visions of the amassed treasure, yet he exclaimed, "Yogiraj, since you knew about this treasure, how come you haven't taken it as yet?" Divakar replied at once, "If I use this treasure for my own or some non-religious person's selfish motive, then, as per my Guru's instruction, my Dharnikalp knowledge will disappear. Now that I have met a noble and pious person like you, my search is over. I wish to hand over this treasure to you and become free of my responsibility." Hearing this, all of Vishakhadat's doubts cleared. He now began to dream of prosperity and happiness. He was blinded with greed and desire. Divakar continued, "Now we must not delay in acquiring this treasure. I will give you a list of items that are required for worshipping the goddess Durga Chandika. At midnight, wait for me at the main entrance of the temple with all these items. We shall meet there." Feeling excited, Vishakhadat arrived at the main entrance of the temple on time as planned. Divakar was waiting for him. "It is already time for puja. We must hurry. You go inside the temple and start the ritual." I will complete rest of the ritual over here near the entrance. Vishakhadat entered the temple. He was startled at what he saw inside the temple. He reasoned with the difference between the powerful goddess, Shakti, who can bring about salvation of the world, and this goddess Durga Chandika, who accepts the sacrifice of animals and humans. How can I worship such a violent goddess? I was overcome with greed, and became ready to commit such a sin. This does not suit my moral values. I am better off remaining poor. Vishakhadat ran out of the temple as if a tiger was chasing him and gasped, "Die Vikarji. What sort of goddess did you want me to offer prayers to? You wanted me to commit such an ungodly and sinful act. Nevertheless, it is not your fault. It was I, who was blinded by desire for wealth, but now I have repented. I will only follow the path of true religion. From now, our paths diverge forever." Divakar was dismayed to hear this. However, the real story was as follows. Divakar had vowed to sacrifice a human being for goddess Durga Chandika. For that reason, he had entrapped Vishakhadat by sweet-talking so that Divakar could sacrifice him. Divakar made a demon-like face and roared, "Did you actually believe that treasure worth 5 crores gold coins is that easy to get? You have to sacrifice someone to get that. That treasure, you foolish man, I will get by sacrificing you. Your end has come. Remember whomever you want and then be ready to die." Saying this, Divakar pulled out a sharp sword to kill Vishakhadat. Seeing Divakar's true nature, and his own lurking death, Vishakhadat felt dazed. Terrified, he waited for his premature death. Divakar raised his hand and used all his strength to give the final blow. But, astonishingly, he could not move his hand. He tried again but failed. Both Vishakhadat and Divakar were surprised. They saw that a strong, handsome young man had gripped Divakar's hand firmly at the last moment, and then after a brief duel he ruined Divakar's plans. Seeing this, Vishakhadat bowed down and touched the feet of this young man. "I am extremely grateful to you for saving my life," the youth remarked, "O virtuous one. Today, by saving your life, even I have atoned partly for a grave mistake I had once committed. Hence, even I am equally grateful to you, as I have become free from that much." The youth continued, "You are wandering here and there looking for a diamond mine. I have come to show you the real diamond mine, which lies within you. It is in your heart. The worldly diamonds will only give you suffering, but discover the diamond mines of religion, knowledge, love and compassion in your heart and you will experience eternal happiness." Hearing this, Vishakhadat bowed down to the young man with humility.
Jai Sachidanand.